Hello and welcome to Dreamwalker Tarot. My name is Dawn, and this is the 2022 year ahead reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, and Venus. And so I just want to let you know that during this reading, I'm doing the sign Mercury and Venus for two reasons. 2022 is the astrological tarot card for this year is the Lover's card, and the Lover's card is the tower representation of for Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. And so those influences are going to be very prevalent this year. And so for the year ahead readings, for this reading, I'm going to be using those aspects to focus on in the reading. So let's move into this. I'm using a couple of decks to look at the overall energy for the year before I move into the tarot spread. And for this particular one, I'm using the Sacred Symbols Divination and Oracle deck by Marcella Kroll. And the cards that came out for you guys is Love and Courage. The guidebook says that for the love card, open heart, unconditional, and universal love. Whatever your question, know that love is the source, the question, and the answer. Meditate when you want to feel more love in its purest form and to connect to others in a more heart-centered way. For the courage card, the guidebook says, Joan of Arc once said, "I am not afraid. I was born to do this." This is your new mantra. You have all that you need and more to proceed. Live your dreams, step forward with confidence and surety. Meditate on this symbol and mantra whenever you need a boost of encouragement. The lightning bolt is inspired by Shazam. And so what I'm really getting for you this year, guys, is really just a focus on developing this sense of courage to step out of the things that you normally do and the way that you normally do things. I feel like there's an energy of kind of being hesitant about making big steps or kind of stepping out on a ledge due to fear, like ingrown fear of failing, especially when it comes to relationships. You might stay in relationships too long because you feel you're afraid to leave because you don't know what is outside of that. But also this could also extend to aspects of business and not being, afraid to start a business because you're afraid that, it will fail or that it won't go the way that you think it will go. And so there's just an overall sense of just being afraid to kind of like step out and really just take a chance on yourself and kind of bet on yourself. And so that is something that is going to be playing out this year for you. There's going to be the opportunities to do so. They will be presented to you in a way where you basically have to choose yourself. And at the core center of that is really the love that you have for yourself and the feeling that you want to see yourself succeed in all things is going to be presented to you this year to give you the opportunity to make those choices. For the life purpose cards, I use the Life Purpose Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue, and the card that came out is Study. And when I see the Study card, there's really like the element of like the Three of Pentacles present with this card, just really kind of letting yourself be a student, being a part of like doing an apprenticeship, going to someone who is an expert in their field and asking them for advice, getting like a mentor or something to help you in a particular field that, you might be new in, or you just want to gain some more information and some more knowledge so that you can proceed to a higher level. For some of you, this can mean going back to school to get a formal education in a field that, is something that you're interested in. I feel like this is also kind of going back to the courage aspect. This will allow you to gain the confidence that you need to kind of like step out. I feel like some of you are hesitant about this again because you might feel like you don't have the expertise that you need, even though you might have the expertise. But there's nothing wrong in gaining more information and gaining more knowledge and becoming like a master in your field. Who doesn't want to do that, right? So the guidebook says that reading, research, and education, help you gain confidence and clarity about your career. This card indicates that you need additional information to feel confident about your career path. Yeah. Fortunately, the angels are guiding you clearly in this regard. Please notice your recurring ideas and feelings about taking classes, engaging a mentor, reading a book, or other forms of research and study. You're also receiving signs from above that point you in supportive directions. For example, several people may recommend the same book to you in a short span of time. This indicates that the angels are delivering their guidance to you through other people's messages. There's something important for you in that frequently mentioned book, movie, class, location, or other idea. The angels have opened the doorway of information for you, and now it's up to you to accept their gift by reading that book, watching that movie, taking that class, or visiting that location. And so there's also the aspect of outside of just like a formal education, they are, your angels are definitely pointing you in the positive direction, in the direction that you need to go to attain your goal. And I think it's just a matter of paying attention to the signs and the symbols that come your way, that serve as a confirmation of the path that your guides are trying to send you on. And in honor of the Venus element, which again, like I said, the Lovers card is the card for this year, I'm using the Romance Angels Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue again. And the 3 cards that came out for you is it is safe for you to love, codependency, stay optimistic about your love life. And I think that actually feeds into what I was saying earlier about just being afraid to let go. And so as a result, or, step out, in faith about, moving away from a relationship or just starting a relationship. There's a little bit of fear there attached with that for you. But also there's an element of codependency of feeling like you don't want to walk away from something because you're unsure about what else might be out there, or just having developed a negative type of pattern with someone that you're in a relationship with, or if you're in a relationship already, right? So let's get into reading what the book says about these cards. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. This card indicates that you're protecting your heart from hurt because of painful relationship experiences. However, the angels can only bring as much romance as you'll allow inside. If you have a shield around your heart, how is love to get in? A closed heart repels the sensitive partner you're trying to attract. Following your inner guidance will protect you and simultaneously allow you to feel loved and loving. Trust your intuitive senses with respect to other people's trustworthiness and open your heart to those who are kind and gentle. Ask the angels to bring caring individuals, including a romantic partner, into your life, and they'll do so, provided that you listen to and follow their advice. Codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. This card answers your question in perhaps a surprising way because addictions are the culprit behind the issues you're attempting to resolve. This could be your own craving for a substance or unhealthful behavior, or it could be that your partner's addictions are impacting your love life. The card is also an indicator of childhood experiences in an addictive family. Addictions numb the heart to pain, but they also diminish its capacity to love. Since love is the basis of your romantic partnership, addictions become a barrier to moving forward toward true emotional intimacy. This is especially true if you are twisting yourself in knots to please a person whose dependency has lessened his or her capacity for happiness. That no-win situation will negatively affect your self-esteem and your own happiness if you continue. Fortunately, lots of support is available worldwide in the form of 12-step meetings and other addiction support fellowship models. Whether it is you or your romantic partner who has the addiction, you can find free groups near you through internet searches or by contacting a local community health center. There is a sense that some of you are saddened by the state of your relationship or the inability to really develop a type of pure, intimate and vulnerable relationship. But this card is saying that you should be optimistic about your love life. The guidebook says positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. The romance angels send you this card to remind you that you have a strong influence upon your love life satisfaction. If you've been complaining or worrying lately, the angels guide you to shift to a more optimistic perspective. Even if you've had your romantic hopes repeatedly dashed, there's still reason to hold the faith that real love can be yours if you believe it. Today, take action steps to positively manifest the love life you desire. Whether you're single or in a partnership, begin by visualizing yourself as romantically happy and satisfied. See and imagine yourself with a wonderful partner who embodies the qualities that are important to you. Imagine that person appreciating and loving you too. You can write lists and conduct journaling sessions about your feelings, hopes, desires, and intentions. You can also create a dream board with images and phrases related to your love life goals pasted onto a poster board. Daily look at this dream board with a positive intent and follow any inner guidance to take actions related to your dreams. Your positive outlook will make you a more physically and energetically attractive person, which will definitely help your relationship with yourself and everyone else too. Okay, so the cards that came out for the overall energy for this year for you is the Justice card, the Ace of Swords, and the Hangman in reverse. And the pairing of the Justice and the Ace of Swords is really talking about truth and balance being restored, but it's also talking about the truth of a situation coming to light. So whatever it is that you are curious about, that you're questioning to yourself, if you're questioning yourself about moving forward with something and you feel like you're kind of like waiting for that response to come to you, that means that during this year of 2022, you're going to get an answer to the questions that you're inquiring about. But because the reason why you might not know the things that you know is due to divine timing. It might have been on hold for a while with the hangman. With the hangman in reverse. It's really talking about when the hangman is upright, it's really talking about divine timing and not trying to rush something and allowing something to happen in a natural way, because spirit wants you to kind of take a pause. And so with it being in the reverse, it means that you're going to be coming out of a state of suspension and really kind of stepping into the truth of something, which is going to allow you or give you the opportunity to move forward, to move away from something if necessary, or to stay with something if necessary, depending on what that's the answer that spirit does reveal to you. When I look at the hangman, or in this deck it's called the hang one, when I look at that card in the upright, it really has like an angelic type of feel to it. So this is really spirit really stepping in to give you the answers and the clarity that you need, and if necessary, adjusting the scales so that if something is out of balance in your life, that it will be in balance. If you've been wronged in any way, it will kind of be remedied throughout the year. And this is really, like again I said, is really about God's timing. It's about spirit and divine timing. Looking at the cards for the overall, year ahead spread, we have a lot of mental energy that's kind of being inflicted here. Again, we have the Ace of Swords is showing up, the Two of Swords is showing up, the Eight of Swords is showing up, and so there's a lot of like thinking about or kind of like ruminating on a situation that's happening in your life this year, and really kind of coming into focus at the end of the year by the finishing off with the World card, which means that it's going to be like a cycle that kind of comes to an end. And so whatever it is that you're going through, it's going to come to an end, which leads into a beautiful beginning for 2023. But you're going to kind of be going through the motions this year to close out a cycle or close out a chapter or a period in your life. I have been saying for the other readings that I've done so far this year that the first 4 cards is for the first 4 months. But for you in particular, I don't feel like these cards are necessarily in chronological order. With the hang one in reverse showing up, it means that this this timing is not really that strict. It's a little bit looser. And like I said, again, you are kind of like on divine time. And so when the information needs to drop for you, it'll drop in the way that it's supposed to, in the timing that it's supposed to. And so in terms of like the months of these cards, it might be a little bit looser and a little bit more fluid for you, which kind of makes a little bit of sense because, you know, you are a water sign. And so there is like a fluidity that's going to be happening that's kind of like uncontrolled and uncontained. Things are going to flow the way that they're supposed to. But with that being said, in the position for January, we have the Eight of Cups. And with the Moon card, with the Moon in the Eight of Cups, I always say that that refers to something that is revealed to you that is putting you in the position or in the situation to walk away from something that that you've been dealing with. And in some cases, in most cases for you, you could be walking away from the emperor in your life or walking towards an emperor in your life. So you're walking away from a situation because there is like a sense of emptiness attached to this situation. There is a sense of there is a sense that for you, this situation is kind of centered around or dealing with a parental male figure in your life. It could be a father, it could be a father figure, it could be a person that you've been dating, but they might be older than you, but it also could be someone that you've been with for a long time where you have like this attachment to them, like, you know, they kind of like, you feel like they raised you. That sounds weird, but that's what I'm getting. So, or they could just be very authoritative in your life, or your life is basically structured around them. So there is this sense that, like, again, you're walking away from this person, or you're looking for that in a person. And so that is kind of like, it's kind of informing your decision right now, because there is a sense of, you know, there's something that you want emotionally or something that you need emotionally. And so, you know, you're walking away from something because of that, because you're in search of that. For some of you, this could be daddy issues. Like, I hate to say it, but it does kind of feel like there could be like some daddy issues attached to this. Really some childhood trauma attached to this that's really kind of like informing the way that you're navigating this situation. There's also the sense that you feel like you can't really create the type of life that you want with this person, or in this particular situation, but there is a sense of being indecisive and being unsure about the decisions that you're making, probably because this person has plays such a major role in your life. This person could even be someone that is the father to your child. So if it's not your father, it could be someone that you share a child with. And so the decision or the thought process of moving away from this person is really like holding a lot of weight for you, because it's such an emotional thing, and it's something that you're really unsure if you should do, right? And that's probably why it's coming across, like I said, it comes across as like something that's really, really fluid, because you're having a hard time making a final decision about this. Like, you're having a hard time really figuring out if this is something that you want to do. This emperor, this father figure in your life could be an Aries person, or it could be a Capricorn individual, right? So those signs are signs that are sometimes attached to the Emperor card. So like I said, you could be walking away from this, or you could be like in search of this, or trying to walk towards that. And that, again, is loosely like the first 4 months of the year. And then for the next 4 months of the year, it's a lot going on, right? So like I said before, we have the Ace of Swords that came up twice. And so this is really about a revelation and a truth, which is, like I said, with the Moon card and the first, not the Moon card, the Eight of Cups and also the Two of Swords. If you notice in those cards that came out before, the Moon was kind of there. And so what is happening is that there is a definite truth that is going to be revealed to you that allows you to make a definitive decision about moving forward. We have the Ace of Swords again, in reverse. And then we have a lot of like activity going on in May, June, July, and August, which is like the summer months, culminating again with the judgment card in August, which is like a final judgment that comes out. So whatever happens in the first 8 months of the year, like I said, it could be a very fluid progress. It could be it might not happen stringently, each month, each thing happening the way it's listed in the cards, because there is a fluid nature to this. And also like the attachment of being indecisive about what you want to do attached to that. But come August, it looks like you really make a decision about what you really want to do. The two aces that came out in May are the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords. And those two cards are both in the reverse. So this really is talking about a lack of clarity, a lack of focus, really clouded judgment, and the inability to really move forward, because you really don't, there's like a lot of delays happening in the situation. And so that means that you really aren't moving forward. You're kind of like stuck. You're kind of suspended. You're kind of like hanging around like the hangman at this point, right? So it's really just kind of like trying to figure out what you want to do, but really like being in a stuck state. And so I pulled clarifiers for the two Ace of Wands, and what I got was the Three of Wands in reverse and also the Four of Pentacles. So there's a sense that the reason why you might be stuck and the reason why you might be unable to move forward is really talking about your resources. Like you might not financially be able to make the decision or make the decision final, because finances are heavily factored into the situation. I do get the sense, sorry about that. I do get the sense that there is this element of longing with you, because ultimately I feel like you do want to take this step, but I think that you are scared. Like you're scared of stepping into this unknown territory of making a move that you're going to regret, or if you're going to be able to make this move, because are you going to be able to do it? But with the Three of Wands here in reverse, along with the Ace of Wands, you might want to really consider really sitting down and nailing down a plan after you've made the final decision about what it is that you want to do, or where you want to go. I really do see that you do have a desire to create something new in your life that will have you be fulfilled. I do get a sense of really longing for that, and that's kind of like what's motivating you, or really kind of like pushing you forward. But then like there's also, like I said, there are also these things in your mind that you're really unsure about, that you're really unclear about, and there's like a lot of overthinking happening, especially when we pull apart the cards for the middle of the year. There's the Ace of Cups in reverse, the Four of Swords, and then of course what is that? The nine of swords. So there is really like a lot of anxiety about this, a lot of sleepless nights about it. Like you're trying to rest, but you can't, because you have a lot on your mind. And so for a lot of you, this is really referring to your ability to start something new, your ability to start something fresh. At this point, we have every ace out on the board except for the Ace of Pentacles. And so that is really talking about, like I said, the delay with you has a lot to do, again, with your finances and having that money. Like I feel like if you got some money today, you would be gone. Like if this is referring to a job and you got some money, you got a good job offer, you would be gone from this job with no second thought. If you got the ability to get some funds to be able to move from where you're moving, if you're in a relationship that you're unhappy in, you would be out. But I feel like that is what's missing, right? So again, there has to be some sort of planning that happens if you do decide that you are moving away or stepping away from the situation, because the unknown factor is really kind of weighing heavy on you. And I do feel like you do want that Ace of Cups in your life. This Ace of Cups is that cup that's missing from the Eight of Cups that was here before. Some of you might really be like fantasizing about what your life would be like, away from this situation, or somewhere else. Like there is like a sense, like there is a sense of longing, like a sense of you wanting to be somewhere else, to be in something else. You might really want to be able to travel someplace else, really just kind of go out and do new things. And I really do feel like you're in a space where you're just thinking about it so much, but afraid to take that leap because you don't know where you're going to land when you do make that, or when you do take that jump. And here again, like I said, in the middle of the deck, in the middle of the month, if we pull apart the cards, we also have the Lovers, we have the Six of Cups, and we have the Five of Wands. And so this kind of goes back to what I was saying before about that father figure in your life. Like I said, with the Lovers card here, it might not be a father figure. It might be someone who is your daddy. Or it could be someone that you have a child with, someone that you are in a relationship with that you've known for a long time, possibly since childhood. And again, that card about codependency that came out in the first spreads with the romance angels cards is really probably at play here. There is a sense of codependency, and not afraid of walking away, or not being able to walk away, or being unsure about what you want to do with it, because this is a person that's been in your life since you were a child. And so there's a sense of attachment with this person, and if it's not you that feels this way, they might feel that way, and they might not want to let you go if this is in your relationship. Like I said, there's codependency at play here. And so with the Lovers card, and also the Six of Cups and the Five of Wands, you guys could also be really arguing a lot about the same redundant stuff, like constantly going back and forth about the same argument. If this is a relationship that you're in, you have the same arguments all the time, but neither one of you is strong enough or willing to kind of fix it or to move away. And so that is really like the decision at play here. Do I fix it? Do I fix the situation, or do I walk away from the situation? And I feel like that's the battle and the struggle that you're going through. And like I said, by August, I think you're going to come up with the final answer for what you want to do. And so during the final part of that, September through December, we're in a space where, like I said, we are at the Four of Pentacles again. That comes out, which is really talking about your sense of scarcity, and your mentality about money is something that you probably need to take a look at. If you're afraid of handling money or dealing with your finances, this is something that you need to look at. With the King of Wands here, it's really about being brave, being, that person that steps out and is like, this is what I'm going to do, and ain't nobody going to stop me. I'm going to do what I have to do. But you really need to take a look at your money. Your money is playing a huge role in your ability to move forward out of this situation, or is influencing the nature of the situation, or where it's going to go, because then right next to it, we have the Two of Pentacles, which is really about juggling your finances. Ultimately, this is something that feels a little bit karmic. It feels like it's a little bit repetitive. It feels like something that you've been going through for a while. And so this is the part where you come to the space where you make that decision about what you want to do with your life, whether you want to start a new business, whether you want to leave your job, whether you want to get a new job and move across the country, whether you want to start a new relationship, whether you want to leave the relationship you're in or stay in the relationship that you're in. It's really the time to really sit with what this situation means and what needs to happen for you to be in a better space, for you to be in balance, in flow. But I feel like I said, there is an element here with the several moon cards that came out, that there is some information that's missing that you haven't gotten yet, and that is going to be handed to you. And like I said, it's all about divine timing. And when that information is given to you, I think you'll know at that moment what it is that you need to do. And when that happens, the first thing that you need to do, actually before that happens, you need to start working on your finances. You need to start working on your financial health, really like looking at paying off debt, really looking at how you spend your money, really saving, really trying to figure out how to be in a financially healthy space. Not to beat a dead horse or anything, but again, the clarification for the Four of Pentacles that happens in September is really like talking about the planning portion. Like, the Page of Wands is really a free spirit, right? That wants to discover, that wants to feel free, that wants to go out and just, explore the world. And I really feel like you're in that beginning stage where you feel like that energy is what's kind of bubbling up in you, is to, kind of go out and explore, right? This is like some really fresh energy that you're feeling, and wanting to take control of that. And so for some of you, a lot of this stuff, this initial stage happens, in the springtime, right? I feel like that energy with the springtime is when you're really going to start really feeling that energy to move away. And I feel like you're being bound and tied by your finances, which inevitably has you walking around in a real funky state, just moody, just like not in a good mood. And that, going to be projecting that energy out. But it's really also going to contribute to the fighting that's going to be happening, that came out earlier with the Five of Wands. So it's really going to put you in a funky state. So to get out of that space is really about being brave enough to make a decision about the health and the wealth of your life, and also the direction of your life. I wanted to pull a card for you, an extra card to really say, like, what is the final outcome of, the situation? And here, this is the answer: the Fool and the Six of Swords. So really it's talking about moving out of a really tumultuous situation and starting on that fool's journey where you feel like you don't know where this is going, you don't know what you're going to do, but you're going to take that step to bet on yourself, and just to take the plunge and the leap of faith, and to go wherever the road takes you. And so ultimately, this is going to be your time to kind of like break the cycle and kind of step away and move out on your fool's journey. So that is the end of the reading. I want to thank you so much for listening and for sticking through it. I really appreciate you, and I really hope that you were able to get some understanding about what to expect for this year. And I hope that it will help you. If you need to come back to the reading at some point throughout the year, please do. Please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for post notifications, and share the video with someone that you feel can benefit from it. But thank you again for being here, and I will see you soon.